Hello, literature lovers. Today we are going to talk about A Rose for Emily, published April 30, 1930, in an issue of the Forum. It's a short story by American author William Faulkner. The story takes place in Faulkner's fictional city, Jefferson, Mississippi, in southern county of Yoknapatawa. It was Faulkner's first short story published in a national magazine. Faulkner described the title, A Rose for Emily, as an allegorical title. This woman had undergone a great tragedy, and for this Faulkner pied her as a salute, or he handed her a rose. The word rose in the title has multiple meanings. The rose may has seen as Homer when interpreting the rose as a dried rose. Homer's body could be the dried rose, such as one that is pressed between the pages of a book, kept in perfect condition as Emily did with Homer's body. The rose also represent secrecy. Roses have been portrayed in Greek legends as a gift of secrecy and confidentiality, known as sub rosa, implying that a rose is a symbol of silence between the narrator and Miss Emily, whose secrets the narrator keeps until her death. Faulkner tells the story using two different methods: a series of flashbacks in which the events are told with subjectivity and detail, and from an objective perspective in which the narrator fades into a plural pronoun we to demonstrate a linear causality of events. Had the story been told in a linear fashion, this understanding would perhaps have been lost, something Faulkner knew and incorporated in the story. By presenting the story in terms of present and past events, he could examine how they influence each other. In terms of mathematical precision, in terms of more subjective time, time moves on, but memories can exist no matter how much time changes. Those memories stay unhindered. It starts with the announcement of Emily's death, an event that has the entire town talking. This leads the reader to assume that she was an important figure in the town. As Fessler says in her article The Key, clearly this lady who died unmarried was of importance to everyone. And yet the town itself is eventually divided. By upsetting the linear flow of the chronology of the narration, the short story focuses on the minute details that led to different conclusions towards the end of the story. If Faulkner presented the story in a linear fashion, the chances of the reader sympathizing with Emily would be far less. By telling the story out of order, the reader sees Emily as a tragic project of an environment rather than a twisted necrophilic based on the townspeople thoughts of Emily is displayed in this section. The reader discovers that the town was not reading Emily's death. On the other hand, it was somewhat welcomed. Emily was just a hereditary obligation who was desperately trying to cling to other traditions and ways of life. With her passing on, the town can finally be free of this remnant being wholly set in present. That's all for today. Thanks for listening.